The Heimdal DNS Security product works in two ways. You have the endpoint DNS security, which requires the agent on the computer, and you also have the network version, which doesn't require any agent. Both of these carry their own advantages, and when combining them, you get the ultimate DNS protection. Now, what is powering this particular product? Well, on one hand, we have a reactive filter called Dark Layer Guard. This is powered by our predictive DNS technology, which is patented and it leverages AI. It analyzes all the characteristics of a domain and it will tell with a stunning 97% plus accuracy rate if this particular domain is used or will be used for malware or malicious intent. Now, if that is not enough, you also have the vector end detection technology, which basically is a set of machine learning algorithms that continuously analyze all the traffic, and it will detect those very, very subtle patterns of malicious communication. Combining these two together, you get the ultimate DNS security. Now, on top of that, this also helps you with a lot of functionality on top of all of that security, such as custom blocking, custom allowing, a custom blocking page, as well as fully logging all the DNS traffic that happens. And this is not just DNS traffic, this is also HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Now, this particular product will add host intrusion prevention, host intrusion detection, forensics capabilities, and so on and so forth. Now, before we go into the technology and all the features, I actually want to show you what dangers are hidden in plain sight when it comes to DNS. I will switch the screen to a virtual machine. Okay, now that we're connected to the virtual machine, I want to show you how many connections, how many trusted connections actually happen whenever you're connecting to one domain. For this example, I will open the browser, open the More Tools, Developer Tools, and now we will look at the network part. When loading CNN.com, do we connect just to CNN.com? We actually don't. We connect to all of these that you're seeing. Any of these could be compromised without even the owner of the legitimate domain being aware of. So now that we see how many connections actually happen, let's also see some other things like one of your users clicking on a random file or them being tricked into click on a random file. So I will open this particular script, and when this opens, it will do a few connections. It will disappear, which this visual part you don't usually see in an attack. Everything happens in the backend, and now nothing is different on the computer itself. But if I navigate back to the Heimdal console, we're actually gonna see what went on. Okay, now that we're back at the Heimdal console, let's see what the DNS security has captured in that short attempt of a hack that I did. So I will navigate to DNS security, endpoint, and now let's connect and expand this particular machine. Before I do that, as you can see, you have a very, very easy to use interface which will flag the machines that present a higher risk versus the other ones so that you can effectively start working on what matters. Now, when I connect here, I will see exactly what went on. As you can see, I have a bunch of connections that look very, very suspicious. What can I do now? I see the domain. I have an investigate view to go and see what other Heimdal users are faced with this particular threat and where across the map. I have a virus total connector, which I'm going to use in a few seconds. I also have a forensic mode to see what IP was behind this. I see the threat type. And now I have something very interesting here called TTPC, Threat to Process Correlation. This shows me what exactly in the computer what process has started this particular connection. And I can copy the details. And moreover, if I'm also using the next-gen antivirus from Heimdal, I can actually quickly take this firewall analysis or quarantine this particular process so that it doesn't do any damage to my environment. Now, let's actually use one of these forensics tools and look at the VirusTotal connector. Now, let's use the VirusTotal connector and look at what can we analyze about this. So I will connect to VirusTotal and I will share the VirusTotal page with you guys. Okay, now we're looking at VirusTotal. I can see that 8 out of 94 vendors that provide internet security have detected this as being dangerous. Now, if we go into the relations of this particular website, we will see that the communicating files, as well as the files that are referencing to this website, sending your computer to this particular website, are clearly infected files. 66 out of 73 vendors have detected this as being dangerous. And just by the look of it, you clearly see what this is. This is a WannaCry distribution domain. And if you guys remember, WannaCry happened a long time ago. And this is still active. So without proper security, components of the WannaCry ransomware would have downloaded and either initialized on the spot, trying to encrypt my entire computer, or they would have collected information just to ensure that it will actually bring my network down with a more advanced attack. Now, let's go back and see what other features could be useful. You have a full DNS over HTTPS capability. Actually, this is the world's first product that had that. You also have category blocking, which you can decide even in between what times of the day these categories are blocked. You have the full logging of all the DNS traffic, custom blocking pages, and so on and so forth. So don't hesitate to add this very powerful layer to your cyber defense.